Grand rising powerful beings. It's time to make the money move and don't just think. All right, you've been thinking for too long. You've been contemplating for too long. It's about time for you to start making the money moves. Shout out to you tapping into Ed Talks Daily. This month is all about money mindset, working on your money mentality. And today I just want to talk about making money moves. All right, so you actually want to act upon the ideas you've been getting lately. So if you're the type of person that have a lot of ideas but not a whole lot of action, this is the episode for you. If you're the type of person that said like, yeah, I'm going to invest, but you never did, this episode is for you. If you're the type of person that you've had a budgeting plan in mind, but you never got to that budgeting plan, this episode is for you. So keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily as I talk about really it's time for you to act on it, right? So it's not just time for you to contemplate on it anymore. It's time for you to act upon it, whatever that move is. So let's go. Keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily. Let's get it. Welcome to Ed Talks Daily, man. Shout out to everybody who's been a loyal listener of the podcast. If you've been tapping in all around the world, listening to the podcast daily, I just want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you on making learning serious, making your personal development serious. I just want to give a shout out to all those folks who listen to this every day. You know, shout out to Soleil, shout out to Sun, shout out to Liz Lopez. Yo, shout out to Ross Juba at Ross Juba Music. Shout out to Impressive That Ites. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Arita. Yo, shout out to Sela. Shout out to many people who's been tapping into this podcast consistently. I appreciate you, and this is my shout out and appreciation for you. Keep listening, and let's keep growing. This episode, or this podcast, is all about how do you grow in all aspects of your life. So it's not just about having a healthy bank account, but it's also about having a healthy body. It's not just about having a healthy bank account, it's also having a healthy mind. It's not just about having a healthy bank account, it's about having healthy relationships with the people that you love. So you want to keep tapping into this episode because part of holistic living is not just the finances, but finances is important. What I like from Jim Rohn, what he said was, listen, money is not everything, but money is something that's very important. You said money is not everything, but at least you can count it, right? So we start with the money mindset, because you can count the money, right? You can, let's say in personal development, there's a lot of progress that you can make in your life, but you can't necessarily quantify the progress, which means you can, there's a lot of things you can make, but money is one that you can count it. So money is, if you set a goal to make a certain amount of money, the goal, you know you achieved the goal when you made that amount of money. You could literally count it. Okay, so money is easy to count and say like, oh, okay, I achieved the goal. So we start with money because it's actually something that frees you up. In the personal development space, y'all probably heard of the term survival versus thriving. A lot of us are stuck in what is called survival mode. And what survival mode is where you only really do just enough to get by. You get what I'm saying? You do just enough to make it. So you don't really have time to invest in your dreams or your ideas because you just survive. So surviving versus thriving is completely different. I realized that thriving is not just a state of your finances, but it's a state of your mind. Thriving is not just when you have all the money and you don't have to worry about your bills, but it's also when, in spite of it, you have a certain energy about you that the money does not dictate how you behave. So that's why I said make money moves, not staying in your thinking, because a lot of times what's stopping your money moves is you feeling bad about not having the money. A lot of things, what's stopping your money moves is staying in the mindset of lack. Right? What's stopping the money move is you actually dreading the situation. What empowers you to thrive sometimes is you look at the situation that it is, you think of the ideas you've had so far, what you've learned that can transform your situation, and you said, look, I'm looking at it, I don't like it, but I'm going to shift it because I'm acting, I'm budgeting. I'm going to shift it because I'm going to create a new offer. I'm going to shift it because I'm going to find opportunities. I'm going to make those calls. All right, sometimes it is your behaviors that's hindering your success, which means some of you have a business and there are certain actions or behaviors that you can call marketing that will transform your business. But because you're not actually staying true to those behaviors, those actions don't happen, therefore the money don't come. Now let me personalize this to you. I have so many things, so many ideas that I did not run. It's like God blessed me with the play, but I didn't run the play. And then I'm like, yo, if I ran this play, I would have made this much money. And then I saw the opportunity pass me by. I was like, dang, I really just missed a really good opportunity. Why do people miss good opportunities? A lot of people feel as if they aren't ready enough, as if they haven't gotten to a point where they can actually do it, or they don't trust themselves enough to carry out the plan. Like, yo, you have this great idea that can make you money, you have this great idea of investment, but you don't trust yourself enough to take the risk. You get what I'm saying? Even if somebody told you about a coin that's really popping right now, you don't trust yourself to take the risk. And sometimes we don't trust ourselves to keep up with the consistency that it takes to do something. Because you're like, yo, look at this other area in my life. I started that and I failed it. I started that and I stopped it. I was like, yo, if I start this business, if I do this thing, these people are depending on me to deliver this, can I actually do it? And sometimes what you have to do is you have to remind yourself, you have to refine your philosophy to understand, of course you can do it. Of course you can do it. Look, if you were inconsistent then, this time you're building a new strand of consistency. So your money mindset, sometimes what's hindering you from acting on your financial freedom is not necessarily the lack of money, but it's the mindset of lack. So I want you to really refine your philosophy. So for the next month, I just want you to every single day learn something about money. I'm not here to teach you all that there is to know. I'm not an expert in this. Shoot, you might want to actually go learn from people who have accumulated $1 million. However, I can work with you with this mindset. So what I'm telling you to do is go learn. I'm not telling you to do something I'm not doing, because that's what I'm doing. I'm getting the information I need to transform my finances. Because at some point in your life, you have to say, hey, I'm doing it in spite of the money. I'm doing it in spite of what I don't think I have. But it's about time for me to get it. Like, at some point in your life, you have to say, look, I am not accepting certain numbers in my bank account. Like, you have to look at your bank and says, I am not accepting that number. It's not that you're ungrateful to say I'm not accepting this number. It's that you're changing your zero. The moment you change your zero, your mindset about saving changes. Because you're like, yo, I can't spend that $1,000. I can't spend even $100, because if I spend $100, I'm only gonna have $900. And since $1,000 is my zero, I have a dedication. So sometimes you have to level up. What is your zero? Like, what is what is your lowest point? Right now, that's where I'm at. I'm transforming my money philosophy. I'm saying, like, yo, I should never have this. I should never have less than this amount. What is that amount for you? You should never have less than this amount. Look, money is not everything, but it's a place to start. And the reason why I say that is, at some point you can't accept something anymore. At some point you can't accept certain spending habits, right? If you know you waste your money on all these things that are really unnecessary, at some point you gotta say, like, yo, I have to change my spending habits. Because if you really look at it, when I look at myself and how long ago I started, I actually, if I'm going to keep it real, I feel bad for not being a millionaire already. But then again, knowing what I know, I'm giving myself grace, and I'm understanding there is a process to success, and it doesn't happen overnight, and the lessons are there for a reason, and I'm appreciating it. But when I really look back and said, like, yo, I had an early start. Like, I had an early start, and there's no reason why I shouldn't have had gotten this much money by now. So of course, you might feel a little shameful sometimes. Let's say you're a coach, whatever. Like, you feel like, yo, if I'm talking about manifestation and abundance, shouldn't I have my manifest and abundant faster? Well, sometimes the speed of your manifestation and abundance is in direct proportion to your ability to listen, right? Your manifestation and abundance is directly correlated to your obedience. God gave you an idea a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, but you did not act on it. And sometimes the frustration comes when it's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's that you already know what to do and how to do it. You didn't get yourself to do it. So now you feel so bad about it that you're procrastinating on doing the very things that will transform your life. And I'm telling you today, let all of that hurt go so you can grab onto what God has in store for you, because your time for prosperity is now. You got to become more prosperous, because what you're going to do with the money, the world needs it. My mentality about money is shifting. Look, I need to charge you because it's going to add more value to your life when I do. So you have to understand that some point in your life, you have to let go of the hurt. You have to let go of the hurt against what you could have done, should have done, didn't do, and then you're going to see things transform for you. Now, that's why I'm working on my money mindset, because I made a decision that in 2023, all my dreams are going to become a reality. I made a decision that in 2023, I'm not just going to have a vision statement that I read. I'm going to have a vision statement that I see in my life, which means I'm not just going to envision good things happening. I'm going to go out and actually make good things happen. I'm not just going to envision my life transforming. I'm going to go out and transform my life. I'm not going to envision being financially free. I'm going to create the financial freedom. Because at this point in my life, I'm realizing that, like Neil Davis says, it has to work or it has to work. The world is going to all types of directions. I mean, look at what's happening in Ukraine. Look at what's happening in Russia. Look at what's happening all around the world. Which means that we don't have the opportunity to just sit and not build wealth. Because what if you need to move tomorrow? Like, the future of your family depends on your wealth. Your very health depends, like your ability to survive is going to be based on the coins that you save, the coins you've invested, the money that you have. So at this point, knowing what state we're in right now, I'm like, bro, you can't sleep on it. So whatever you need to do, whatever education you need to get, whatever rooms you need to step into, whatever application of knowledge you need to apply, now is the time to apply it, because you never know if you're going to need to go to a whole nother country. You never know what it is that you're going to need to do during these times to save your life. So money is not just about having money. It's not vanity. You know, I love Solomon when he said everything is vanity all underneath the sun. Right? However, that it has to do with your survival. It has to do with your ability to thrive. It has to do with your ability to decide on what you're going to do with your life and not be on the clock or on not having somebody else dictate what you do. So that's financial freedom. Being able to say, look, I have something I want to create. Let me be able to do it. I have the resources. That's financial freedom. And it has to come to a point where you say, hey, I've been slacking on the acting. I've been lacking on the acting, and now I'm choosing to act on it. You know, this is a state that I'm in. I'm not giving, look, I want y'all to understand this. If you listen to the first thing I told you every day, this podcast is all about growing in all aspects of our lives. How do you solidify a great body, a great mindset that will lead into new relationships that will lead to a fulfilled spirit? Join me on this journey on becoming the best version of ourselves. I told you, I've been telling you since 2017 when I started this, that this is a process of growth, and I'm legit working my philosophy as I share this with you. So you have to make a deliberate, determined effort that I'm going to change what my zero number is. This is the newest amount that I can go to in my bank account. For you, it might be $500. For somebody else, it might be $1,000. Somebody might says I'm at my lowest when I have $5,000 in the bank. Somebody might says I'm at my lowest when I have 3 months worth of savings left. Now you're like, yo, why do you want to put that? Because you got to change it. Because I realized that the paycheck mentality I got from working in the corporate space still has came and bled into my entrepreneurship ventures. Which means at the end of the month, I have just enough money to pay the bill and enough to take care of my needs, but then that's called paycheck to paycheck. Even though I'm making my own paycheck, I'm reaching a point in my life that I says, I cannot accept that anymore. And you have to get to that point. And I'm keeping it real with you. Why? Because I told you, this is a journey. I want to show you the process. I want to show you what it really takes. I don't want to sugarcoat, hide, and try to lie and try to make me seem like a big shot. I'm in a journey with you. But I got the mindset. I got the philosophy. This stuff really works. These are laws. Here's the thing what people think. People think this. Once you learn of the laws and you apply them once, boom, you rich. Prosperity is right. Oh my goodness, I thought of the laws. I learned some of the law. Bam. It is constant application of the laws. And it's called consistent action because it takes time for the laws to work. So that's what I learned. There are laws to making money. There are laws to growing your brand. There are laws to impacting people, but the laws take time, but it takes your consistency. Laws take time, but it takes your consistent action. It also takes your creativity. Now, the more obedient and the faster obedience that you are, the more obedient you are and the faster that you remain obedient, the faster the laws work for you. Now, what do I mean by that? Sometimes the laws are not taking long because the laws are taking long. The laws are taking long because you're taking long. The laws are taking long every day. You have certain habits that's not working for you. I found out in myself, I was like, yo, these are great habits. These are habits of impacting people and habits of making money, but there's a few points where I'm selling short at. There's a few things I need to make sure that are done. There's a few calls I need to make sure every day. What cold calls, what emails am I sending? There's a few opportunities I'm not seeking for. There's a few organizations I need to call and say, do you need a motivational speaker? Do you need a wellness coach? There are a few corporate contracts that I didn't get yet because I didn't take the action. It's not that God didn't bless you with the skill sets or the idea, but you're lingering your process because you didn't do what you know you should do. It's like you went to this great workshop, great seminar, you heard all these great tips. You're like, bruh, I needed this strategy right now. You got the strategy, but you left the room, you did nothing with it. So you went back home and like, yo, I love these strategies, great stuff, man. And a year went by, you look into your journal and you're like, dang, what would have happened to my life if I did this a year ago? And that's how I feel a lot of times. Yesterday, I'm sitting in my bedroom and I'm thinking to myself like, yo, today was a powerful money March conversation. I was like, yo, when I look at my systems and procedure, I'm like, yo, you got a lot of great stuff going in. You're marketing, you're branding, like boom. I'm like, damn, I should be way farther than I am right now. I thought to myself, I was like, dang, you got over 500 videos on YouTube? Why is they're averaging below 50 views? I looked at my podcast. I was like, damn, you got over 400 episodes? I look at all the shows. I look at all the archive content that I do with my coaching community. I'm looking back at this stuff. I'm like, whoa, you've been doing this for what, 6 years? And I was thinking to myself, I should be way farther by now. But then something in my mind spoke, act. Something in my mind said, what about those ideas you written down 3 years ago? What are those ideas you written down 2 years ago? Act. Something in my mind says, make the call. Something in my mind says, send the proposal. Something in my mind said, go to the place. Something in my mind says, get back to the grind like you used to. Like something in my mind says, what happened to posting flyers, Ed? Something in my mind says, what happened to talking to people on the street about your brand, Ed? Something in my mind says, why have you only gotten this why are you only stuck on social media? Did you forget that you can actually tell somebody about Rising Prime who's down the street at Publix? What happened to that? What happened to your hunger, the creativity that you had? So in my mind, I'm like, bruh, It has to work or it has to work, like Neil Davis says, because at this point, I'm thinking of like, yo, if we had to pack up our stuff and go, do you have enough money to sustain your life, your family, the people that you love? And that hit me deep. I'm like, dang, I don't. And I said like, yo, I can't trip on this. I can't feel bad about this. I can't be shamed about this. I can't be guilty. I can't feel bad. I'm like, yo, yesterday I was thinking I'm going to keep it real. And today I was like, yo, should I even talk about this? Will people even feel what I'm saying? Will they say, okay, since you're in this situation, then what you're saying must not be working? I found out that the laws that I speak of does not always just come from myself. They're laws that come from, I don't know, many sources. And I'm like, these laws are really sound. I realized that, but I don't always apply them. So the issue lies not in the stuff that I don't know, but in the stuff that I know that I don't use. The issue does not lie in the stuff you don't know. It lies in the stuff that you do know, but you're not acting on it. So yesterday I'm sitting down. I'm like, yo, money march. I'm talking about money. Should I even keep talking about money? I'm like, yo, am I even credible to talk about money? I'm like, I don't know if I'm credible to talk about money. And then something in my mind says, that's the point. This is the lesson. You are credible. But what you gotta do is you have to act on what you're talking about. You have to act on what you're thinking about. So it's not just talking about it, it's acting on it. It's not just contemplating on it, it's putting it into action. And then from that point I was like, yo, I'm gonna transform my zero. From that point I said, I'm going to revert, I'm gonna do certain things in the hustling local and thinking globally. Hustling local and reaching globally. I said like, yo, it is time for me to set an itinerary every single day, not just the activities that come comfortably, which are habits, but the activities that I have to push myself out of my comfort zone to do. So some of the comfortable activities that you've been doing, for instance, I'm posting content everywhere, every day, boom, 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 blasting. But posting these content it's impacting people, but it's not impacting my bank account as much. So posting free content is very useful, but strategically posting content that sells is more useful to my bank account. Strategically posting content that says go to a program is more strategic for my bank account. Posting content that says pay for my services is more strategic for myself. So I said, in order for me to serve the people more, I got to charge the people more. In order for me to help the people more, I got to make more money. So I can't be spending all my time giving you all of this stuff for free. I have to make sure that in addition to that, I'm saying like, yo, you want to transform your lifestyle with a routine, join Rise and Prime. I got to say, you want to reduce anxiety, get yourself some anxiety. I got to say, you need somebody to come to your organization to speak. Are you part of an organization that can use a speaker? Book me. Go to my website, theholisticmotivator.com or edwardjaws.com. I got to get to a point, and I'm at a point where I understand that I'm doing activities that's comfortable because I've always done those activities. And just because I've always done those activities, don't mean that those are the best activities to get me to where I want to go. So right now I'm like, yo, these activities impact lives all around the world. And it's creating a table for me. And I need to keep doing it. But there are fewer activities that if I did those activities, I would have more peace of mind, more confidence to even do what I do. There's another confidence when you don't just know the laws, when all the laws are working in congruency with what you're saying. This is called integrity, being in one with the laws that you know and that you preach. And there's a different energy that comes from that. There's a different impact that comes from that. Which means I can wake up tomorrow if I had $100,000 in the bank and say, listen, I'm doing a retreat. I can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm doing this. I'm going to this place. Because now I'm able to invest in people more when I have more chips to invest in myself. So you have to say, at some point, you can't just give. You can't just spend your time with everybody else. You can't just give. Look, you gotta say, I gotta get myself right. Because when I'm right, if I'm able to do all of this with not as much resources, when all of these resources are available to me, The impact is like, yo, God wants you to have the money because God wants your gift to reach millions. So I need you to start focusing on that. If you're wasting your money, focus on fixing that. If you're not investing your money, focus on doing that. If you're not making multiple streams of income, focus on getting multiple streams. Somebody said, look, don't just buy a bicycle to ride, buy a bicycle to rent. Don't just provide the service, provide how to do the service. Don't just provide the service, provide content about the service. Right? Don't just provide the service, write a book about how you did the service. Don't just do the service, share the journey of the service. So there are so many different revenue streams one can get once you make a determined effort that I'm not just satisfied with what I got. And you said it's not because I'm not grateful, but it's because you have to honor God so much that you say, God, you bless me with all of this wealth. I'm not going to walk around here representing you being poor. I'm going to represent you with that wealth. Look, you got to be like Abraham. Like God said, look, yo, Abraham, I bestowed you all of this. Look, God didn't give you this entrepreneurship thing so you can make 100,000 and be satisfied. God gave it to you so the other people who are stuck in the matrix, you can also help free them. And when you help free them, not only do you have financial freedom, you get a different effect. So now, not only you're creating a legacy with your business, you're helping other people too. So you're so good at what you do, turn it to a course. So God is telling me like, yo, bro, you got all this knowledge. Why didn't you put this in a course already? Why you just keep putting it out for free? Why are you not promoting your course? Why is this not on the book? Focus on fixing that. Where's your book at, bro? Like, where your book? Like, where your ebook? God is saying like, yo, where is all this stuff that you get these ideas from? Where is these programs? Where are these online classes? Where are these retreats? Where are these seminars, bro? Focus on fixing that. So now it's like, yo, when I look at my bank account, I'm like, it's not where I need it to be. I'm not going to see what it is. I'm going to remind myself of the list of the things that I didn't yet do, and I'm going to go say, I got to do that. I got to do that. You know what? I've been thinking of scaling. It's about that time now. Oh, I'm fearful. I don't know if I can handle it. Okay, I need to focus more on the system. I need to document the system. You already doing. Look, some of you, all you got to do is document what you do, implement that documentation in a plan, share that plan, and you could just like that, you could scale your business. But if you're too lazy to say, oh, let me just turn this screen record software on. If you're too lazy to say, let me just put this camera right next to me, then guess what? What you could be doing to create the operating procedure for your business, the standard operating procedure, the SOP, what you can be utilizing to create a training system for your future employees or partners. You're procrastinating on it because you're like, I don't know how to set the camera. You better go pay somebody to learn how to do that. I don't know how to use that. You better go pay. Like, yo, if you don't know how to do it and you got the money, you better go invest yourself and learn how to do it. Because like, yo, you have to come to a point where you say, look, I'm not going to know how to do everything. But guess what? I got an energy form of exchange that's called my money. So if you know how to do it, how about I exchange my money for your energy and you do it? You got to start thinking more like a boss. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a point where it says, what are the high income activities? How do I focus and hone down on those high income activities? And how do I delegate the low income tasks to people who can do that better and can get the benefit from it? Because at this point, we have to shift from being solopreneurs, from being sole proprietors, to entrepreneurs, to moguls, to CEOs, to business owners, to authors. Big time thinking, man. So Money March, listen, in my vision statement, I'm like, it's the year 2023 and my life is, look, I got all these great ideas. I'm like, yo, it's about to be 2023. I'm like, yo, I said that I was going to release a book every year for the last 5 years. I haven't released one book yet. And I'm like, bruh, we can't do that, bro. You can't sleep on that. Yo, what if I get on the car tomorrow and I die? I'm gone. I done put out all this free content. You're going to be listening to it. But now I got no legacy for my family, yo. I got no book that's going to be paying the future generation, man. Yo, I don't want that. You know how much sweat and blood I put towards this? You know how much time I invest on this? I sleep, breathe, and drink this. I've been doing this consistently for like 6-7 years, bruh. This ain't something I just started. And like, yo, people think it's an overnight success. But what I realize is we are literally putting off our successes because we are not doing the things we need to do. And I'm frustrated with myself. And out of that frustration, my solution to that frustration is determined action, man. So after this, I gotta write something. I gotta get my books out. I gotta express myself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do these things because it's in me. I gotta build my tech business. I gotta bring out Flex Holistic in its full capacity. Because God didn't bestow ideas upon you just because you're gonna keep those ideas hidden, man. You gotta bring those ideas and gifts out here. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm saying, I am going to, with all that I've learned, here's what I've learned, and here's what I've read as well. It really takes about 10,000, it says 10,000 hours to cultivate a skill set. You do it. And then there's a point where there's an accelerating growth. And like Radiant Rain says, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. It takes 6 years to learn what caused you to fail and how to readjust. And then you got to speed up with all that you've acquired and say, look, I've gotten all of that. I've gotten the training. Look, sometimes your pain is the training ground. Now it's time to invest that pain. So now I've been through all of that. I'm realizing God blessed me with so much. Because now when I get in front of that stage, boy, it's not like I'm talking from a book. I'm going to be talking from every single experience I had. So all of these entrepreneurs who's going to be tapping into what I'm sharing, to what I'm speaking, going to be like, bruh, I feel you to the teeth, my brother. So what you think is actually bad for you is good for you. But at some point you got to say like, bruh, okay, I understand the dirt helped me grow, but it's time for me to get my tree up here now. You know what I'm saying? I understand it was helping me grow. And there was a point where I said I love the dirt because it helps me grow. But I realized that the bamboo tree, which takes 5 years underground and goes up in 6 months, or 6 years underground and goes up in 6 months, I'm that bamboo tree, baby. And if I've been underneath that ground for 6 years, cultivating myself, in the next 6 months, I need to take it to a whole nother level. Look, I didn't write 5 books each year. Maybe I need to write 5 books in 1 year. You get what I'm saying? You got to elevate it. So I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm really thinking about my finances, my money, and what I have. And I'm like, bruh, this is not even about me, man. This is not even about me. And because of that, I'm like, yo, I got to work harder every single day. I can't just vibe. I can't just chill. I can't just passively post content. I got to be aggressive in my strategy to sell. You get what I got to be aggressive in my strategy to convert. Because on the other side of a conversion is a transformation for the person. Bruh, I know how to do so many different things. I mean, if I would tell you, it'll overwhelm you. And I'm like, bruh, why are you sitting on gold? Why are you sitting on gold complaining about the shit you smelling? You know, that's how I feel like a lot of times. But guess what? I'm still showing up and doing the works. You get what I'm saying? But it's a different mentality in saying like, bro, yeah, you could do this for free for 10 consecutive years. Obviously, Instagram and YouTube ain't rocking with you like that. And by that, I mean, these softwares, sometimes they're going to shadow ban your stuff. I mean, I realized that, okay, if Instagram only shows me to about 500 of the 6,000 followers, instead of really just focusing on posting on Instagram all of the time, I need to make sure I go to colleges where I can speak to, you get what I'm saying? So now I can increase not only the Instagram numbers, but I can be in person. So I'm realizing, oh, YouTube is only showing my video 15, 20, 50 people? Bruh, that means that I need to get myself out on LifeTube. LifeTube. So I'm saying, because LifeTube will make me 1,500, 25, 3,500 grand for that speech. You get what I'm saying? A seminar will make me money rather than just a podcast. You showing up in a room paying $50 for this will make me money. So I'm like, bro, what is the next workshop I'm gonna have? Where am I gonna have it? How much I'm gonna charge? And how am I gonna market it? Okay. Is online networking exactly how I want it to? Do I need to walk door to door with a flyer? Do I need to hire a bunch of high school kids and say, I need you to tell everybody about this? What other ways do I can strategically put myself out there other than what I've been doing that have not been necessarily yielding the results I want? Now, the online, don't pass that, baby, because that's where the money's at. But there's other strategies. Because I realized that an Instagram reel about something that really touches or empowers somebody, a podcast episode that's for free, maybe a shirtless foodie there, a Qigong video there, how to juice there, holistic content there. Yeah, it's helping people. But is it making me money? You got to think about that. So my strategy now is this going to make me money? Now you're like, damn, is it like that, bro? I already know where my heart is. I don't need to feel bad about it. I already know where my heart is. I know that I want to help people, and I do that every single day. So now it's like money comes to me right now. Look, somebody's about to call me and say, I got an opportunity for you to speak. That's how I'm thinking, man. And I got to call these colleges. You got to do these things because my goal is to be a global speaker, coach, teacher, the holistic motivator, baby. Get what I'm saying? I am amongst the greats. And I can't walk like I'm not. I got to walk like it. And my bank account got to look like it. My prosperity got to reflect what I have in the material world. That's the least to manifest. Because a lot of people manifest money so easily. But peace of mind? True insight? The ability to... I'm like, bro, if you got that peace of mind already? You got this mindset up? I'm like, bruh, you put the money with that? Yo, you don't know how powerful that is, brother. You put the money with that? That's next level. The holistic motivator, baby. It's the new generation. Every generation has its own. So let me give you a very cool stuff that I study the greats, okay? And Les Brown was a motivational speaker. He's born on the same day as me. 50 years from my birthday, which is pretty cool, right? 50 years from my birthday, so I'm like 50 years after Les Brown, February 17th. And he used to call himself the Motivator, okay? And then he was one of the #1 black motivational speakers, Les Brown. And then came Eric Thomas, #1 black motivational speakers. And he called himself the E.T., the hip hop preacher. Now, I'm just a Haitian kid from Haiti. I almost died before I was 2. I was a mute until I was like 3 or 4. I didn't speak English till I was 9 or 10 years old. I was the quietest kid in high school. I used my body most of the time, and I didn't really know I could do this. But right now, my name is the Holistic Motivator. And when I look back in generations and really looking at what each generation needs, I'm like, bruh, it's like God set me up for this. And I really look at, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be global. And I'm like, this is a big responsibility. And right now I'm really owning that, stepping into it, and understanding that I have something that the world needs. Like, think about it, not just for you to be inspired to get your money, but inspired to take care of your body, inspired to help other people, inspired to have a better relationship. I'm like, yo, this holistic motivation is what this generation needs. And with that, I have a different responsibility. And my ability to respond is going to be, is at another level. Because I can't sleep on it. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know I could speak like bruh, I didn't know I could do all this stuff. Like, I really, in 2017, I had an opportunity to just have a show at Owl TV. And I started in front of the camera. Actually, the first topic I started talking about was entrepreneurship. Believe it or not, man, I was an entrepreneur since middle school. I was selling chips and candy. But then when I went to high school, I started something called Poetic Records. And then I started something called Priceless Capture. And then I started something else called Quick Thrift Books, Slim Thick Fitness, Flex Fitness, Tech Rescue Guys, the Holistic Motivator Co., Flex Holistic, transformed to that. And then now I created something called Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And I'm like, bro, how come if I started earlier, how come I don't have the money? That shit pissed me off. I was like, damn, I've been doing this for a long time. And I was like, yo, some hunger comes out of delay. I was like, yo, you could have gotten it and never done this. You probably would have stopped at Quick Trip Books. I'm not saying I would have or could have. I'm not saying I wouldn't have gotten to this state. But I'm saying, like, yo, your story details is for a reason. But at some point, you got to realize that you've gotten a lesson already. And it's time to go to the next level with the lesson. That's where I'm at. It's like, bro, yeah, you needed all of these things. Good. You got them. Now, what you staying there for? Come on, take it, go. So when you said it takes 10 years in the making of a entrepreneur, Patricia, that hit deep. Because I haven't just been doing this for 10 years, man. I've been doing this stuff for 15, I'm 27, how old am I? 20, wait, am I 26? I'm 27. I just turned 27. I forgot what age am I. But I was 13. I've been an entrepreneur for 14 years. And everybody who have like grown with me will tell you that. I was the kid selling pastelitos in high school to earn enough money to buy my first camera, to start my first business, my first official business, I like to call it, called Prices Capture. I was that kid. I was that kid always on the track, running before school and after school, running 10 miles after practice. I was that kid who played 7 sports and was still killing it in the classroom. I was that kid who you never really thought what he was thinking about, but you always knew like that kid is going somewhere. I was the kid that people voted most likely to succeed when I was even the most popular kid. I was just the track athlete. I was just the people's scholar athlete. So early on there was a calling in my life, and the processes teach me all that I need to know. I'm looking back at memories for 10, 20 years. I'm like, bruh, 10 years ago? I'm like, yo, I'm 17. What I know about that, bro? I'm like, yo, if you really look back at your life, you're going to see that God has been preparing you exactly for this moment. And you have to make a deliberate, determined effort that, yo, I'm going to act on that. And that's where I'm at. I'm at a point of, it's not shame, though. It's not blame. It's not guilt. It's not feeling bad. It's a frustration that's leading me to determine action. Right? You want to turn your frustration into fascination is what Jim Rohn taught me. Turn your frustration into fascination. And I'm fascinated by the process. I'm fascinated by God's ability to transform me with challenges. I'm fascinated by that. But at this point in my life, I'm like, I don't want to just be I don't want to just be fascinated. I don't want to just be frustrated. I am getting in action of. So guess what, yo? Don't be surprised if you see me speaking all around the world in the next 2-3 years. Don't be surprised if you see my book on the bookshelf. Don't be surprised if you see me on your favorite podcast episodes. Don't be surprised if you see me at your company coaching your own employees. Don't be surprised if you see me coaching top millionaires in the next 2 years. Don't be surprised, because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, and I'm saying that, yo, it is enough. It is time. Look, people need to hear my voice. People need to hear these words. And I'm not going to hold that back anymore. Don't be surprised. Be empowered. So at some point in your life, you got to say like, yo, I'm done. It's over. Look, yo, ma, how much you need? I'm going to send that over right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, how much you need, ma? I got you. You get what I'm saying? Look, yo, that little kid, yo, what you need? I got you. At some point, what you do is way bigger than what you do, bruh. It's for the people you do it for. It's for the people you get up every day for. You get what I'm saying? At some point, I want the same person that says like, yo, what you doing every day? Like, you ain't never gonna be like, yo, I see you ain't put it in, like, what you doing every day? I want to give that person $1 million. Like, I want to say, Dad, I just pay the bank off for your house. I want to say, Dad, I just created a business for you. Like, yo, I know you said, like, yo, I don't see what you're doing, but my works make that room. And I want to show it to them. I want to prove it to myself. It's not that I need their approval, but it's just that I know what's in me. And I'm tired of telling people about it and not just showing it. So I'm at a point in my life where I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. And because of that frustration, I'm not just going to sit down and not act on it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for too long. I'm too talented. I got too much gifts. It hurts sometimes. And because of that, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to do it more. I'm going to be more strategic. I'm going to demand my value. I'm not going to short sell myself. Because enough is enough. And now is the time. The world needs your gift. There's some kid that needs to hear what I got to say. And I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I got to do everything I got to do while I'm here. Because God didn't say, like, oh, I'll give you this gift, but just sit on it, bro. Oh, you know what? You got this gift, but just sit on it. God ain't telling you that. You're disrespecting the Creator when you don't act upon your gift. You're disrespecting the Creator. The creation, why He created you to bring something here. So enough is enough. It's time to get it going, baby. It's the Holistic Motivator. I want to thank y'all for tapping into this episode. It's Ed Talks Daily. Haven't been, like I said, not holding it back. So a tear little came out there, but because I felt that. You get what I mean? So as transformation does not always happen without the right emotion behind it. And I'm at a point where I gotta transform, man. I gotta transform. So let's get it, man. This is the Holistic Motivator. This is Ed Talks Daily. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Go to edtalksdaily.com and subscribe. And also, if you wanna get actual messages, text Ed Talks to 561-510-9605. Text Ed Talks to 561-510-9605. And you're going to be added to the text messaging tribe. And then that way I can send you text messages, okay? So text Ed Talks. Okay, you want to come on, brother? I'm going to let you in. So appreciate you for watching. Yo, what's up, brother? You frozen. Hold up. I can't hear you. How about try now? Yo, can you hear me? All right, bro, we're going to do that next time. So I want to thank everybody for tapping in. This is a podcast, so I have to make sure I stay on point because we're going to post this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts later. We're going to keep the IG live going. So I want y'all to make sure you subscribe to this podcast, text Ed Talks to that number, and get in the community, okay? So we're going to tap in soon. So you make sure you go support it. And if you think this is very empowering to you, don't just sleep on it. Just share it with a friend, share it with somebody. And that would mean a lot to me because you're going to really help this grow to the next level. So help support the podcast. For those of you who just now tapping in, y'all got to go back and watch this. And we're going to keep it going with my boy. So I'm going to add you in, brother. Get in a good space, though, so you could be on point. So thank you for the podcast on YouTube. Those watching on Spotify, listen to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go to edtalksdaily.com, and I'm out. Peace.